Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today's topic is the continuation of the heart external features we have seen in the last class. Now we will start with the interior of the chambers, and in this class we will see the interior of right atrium. Those who have not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe now. Keep watching the videos. In our channel we have a new playlist. Go through that. Important anatomy in 50 videos. If you cover the 50 videos, you will be able to cover 60 to 70% of the anatomy questions for the university exams. Do subscribe now. Keep watching the videos. Now we will move on to the topic interior of right atrium. It is an important essay for you. You may be asked along with the development of right atrium. For the development of right atrium, see the embryology videos. Development of cardiovascular system we have covered in 3 videos. Go through that. Add with this interior of right atrium and prepare as one essay. Now we will start with the topic right atrium. Before we start, we will introduce the right atrium. You are seeing this is the right atrium. It is open. If you see, its shape is quadrilateral chamber situated behind and to the right side of the right ventricle. So this is right ventricle behind and to the right side, from which it is separated externally by the right part of the AV groove. So this is the AV groove separating the right atrium and the right ventricle. Right atrium forms part of the sternocostal surface. So this is the sternocostal surface. It forms the right border and 1/3 of the base of the heart. So this is the base of the heart. So it forms a part of the base of the heart, 1/3. It extends from the orifice of the superior vena cava. So this is the superior vena cava. It is extending from the orifice of the superior vena cava behind the third right costal cartilage to the orifice of the inferior vena cava. So this is the inferior vena cava behind the sixth right costal cartilages. A shallow vertical groove runs along the right border of the heart, that is called sulcus terminalis. So it is cut along the sulcus terminalis. It is the right atrium to show the interior. So what is sulcus terminalis is, it's a vertical groove, extends from the orifices of the superior and inferior vena cava. So this is the orifice of superior vena cava you are seeing, and this is the orifice of inferior vena cava. So that groove is called sulcus terminalis. It corresponds with the crista terminalis in the interior. Now we will start with the interior of right atrium. So now you see only the right atrium. Interior of right atrium consists of posterior smooth part. So what you are seeing here, this part is the posterior smooth part known as sinus venerum, and anterior rough part. So this is the anterior rough part which is reflected back, and this is called as atrium proper. This includes the right auricle also. These two parts are separated from each other by the smooth muscular ridge. That is we have opened along that ridge, that is the crista terminalis, which corresponds to the sulcus terminalis in the exterior. The sinus venerum receives the termination of large veins. So you are seeing this sinus venerum receives the termination of large veins, and it is developed from the absorbed right horn of the sinus venosus. Atrium proper is developed from the right half of primitive atrium. So these are the two parts. Now we will see the smooth part, then we will see the rough part. Sinus venerum, first, that is the smooth part. It occupies the posterior wall and part of right wall of right atrium. Presents the following features: opening of superior vena cava. So this is the opening of superior vena cava, we will see. Yes, this is the opening of superior vena cava you are seeing. Opening of superior vena cava. It is situated in the upper and posterior part of the atrium, directed forwards and upwards. conveys the blood from the upper part of the body. The opening is not guarded by any valve. So that is the superior vena cava opening, not guarded by any valve. Then the opening of inferior vena cava, it is situated in the lower and posterior part of the right atrium. You can see this is the opening of inferior vena cava. It is situated in the lower and posterior part of the atrium, close to the atrial septum. So this is the atrial septum. Yes, this is the atrial septum in the middle. So it is close to the atrial septum. It conveys the blood from the lower part of the body. And this opening is guarded by the rudimentary semilunar valve. It is not given in this model, but usually it is guarded by rudimentary semilunar valve. Sometimes the valve is cribriform and rarely it is absent. This valve will be called as Eustachian valve. So that is the name of the valve of the inferior vena cava. It is rudimentary semilunar valve. So that is the valve of inferior vena cava. It has a right horn which is continuous. That valve is having the right horn which is continuous with the crista terminalis. So it is continuous with crista terminalis, and the left horn with the anterior limb of limbus fossa ovalis. Now we will see the third feature, opening of coronary sinus. Are you seeing the opening of coronary sinus? Close to the opening of inferior vena cava. It is situated between the opening of inferior vena cava and the right AV orifice. So this is the right AV orifice you are seeing. Yes, this is the right AV orifice. In between that we are seeing the opening of coronary sinus. The opening is guarded at its lower margin by the incomplete semicircular valve, Thebesian valve. So three openings we have seen: opening of superior vena cava, opening of inferior vena cava, opening of coronary sinus. There are so many minute foramina in this posterior smooth wall that will be called as foramina venerum minimarum. These are minute openings of venae cordis minime. They are the small veins, more numerous in the septal wall. This fifth feature is intervenous tubercle. It is a small conical muscular projection immediately below the opening of superior vena cava. This tubercle is scarcely visible in man, more prominent in the animals. So we have completed the sinus venerum, 5 features: opening of superior vena cava, opening of inferior vena cava, opening of coronary sinus, foramina venerum minimarum, and intervenous tubercle. Now we will start with the atrium proper. So atrium proper lies in front of crista terminalis. So that's where it is reflected and presents the following features. Crista terminalis. It is a smooth muscle ridge which extends from the upper part of the atrial septum from the opening of superior vena cava along the right wall of the atrium and ends below by joining with the right horn of the valve of inferior vena cava. So that is, you have to see, that is the cut edge of the crista terminalis. Then the second feature is musculi pectinati. You are seeing these are the musculi pectinati. These are parallel muscular ridges which pass forwards from the crista terminalis towards the right AV orifice. So these are the two features of the atrium proper, crista terminalis and musculi pectinati. Now we will see the right side of atrial septum. So what you are seeing like this in the middle, that is the interatrial septum. It presents following features: fossa ovalis. Are you seeing a depression? Oval depression above and to the left of the opening of inferior vena cava. That is the fossa ovalis. The floor of the fossa is thin and it is formed by septum primum. Limbus fossa ovalis. So that is the surrounding that depression you see, that is the limbus fossa ovalis. It is a sickle shaped sharp margin which surrounds the fossa ovalis, upper and anterior and posterior margins of the fossa. This limbus is developed from the lower free margin of septum secundum. Then triangle of Koch. It's a triangular area. Yes, this is in between the opening of inferior vena cava, in between the opening of coronary sinus and between the septal leaflet of tricuspid valve and above by the tendon of Todaro. So this is the tendon of Todaro. In between the three features you have to see. First you see the opening of coronary sinus, septal valve of tricuspid valve and tendon of Todaro, which is a subendocardial ridge which extends from the central fibrous body to the left horn of valve of inferior vena cava. What is the importance of this triangle? AV node largest in this triangle. So that is the importance of this triangle. Ventrocaudal to the node lies the membranous part of ventricular septum, that is the atrioventricular septum. Now torus aorticus. It is an elevation in the anterosuperior part of the septum caused by the bulging of the right posterior aortic sinus of the ascending aorta. So that is the features we have seen. What are the features in the interatrial septum we have seen are the fossa ovalis, limbus fossa ovalis, triangle of Koch and torus aorticus. In about 25% of normal subjects, this valvular opening may be found open. That is called probe patency of the foramen ovale. Signifies the foramen ovale is remaining open, although physiologically it is closed. So we have completed the smooth posterior part, rough anterior part and right part of the interatrial septum. Fourth feature is this right AV orifice. Atrium proper communicates with the right ventricle through the right AV orifice. This opening is oval in shape, permits usually the tips of the three fingers guarded by the tricuspid valve. This area of the right atrium is called as the vestibule of right tricuspid valve. The plane of the orifice is almost vertical. So blood flows almost horizontally from the right atrium to the right ventricle. So four features in the interior of right atrium we have seen. Atrium proper. So that is the rough part, atrium proper. This is the smooth part, openings of the veins, interatrial septum and right AV orifice. So we will conclude with the summary of the development of right atrium. For details of the development of right atrium, you go through the videos of the development of the cardiovascular system. For exam point of view, I will cover the important points you have to note in the essay of interior of right atrium. Sinus venerum develops from the absorbed right horn of sinus venosus. You should remember sinus venerum develops from sinus venosus, only from right horn. Atrium proper, that is the rough part, develops from right part of primitive atrium. You should remember primitive atrium will give rise to the proper chambers, that is atrium proper. Crista terminalis develops from the upper part of right venous valve. So right venous valve, you should remember, it will give rise to three structures. Crista terminalis from the upper part, valves of inferior vena cava and coronary sinus from the lower part of the right venous valve. So that is the another development. Floor of fossa ovalis develops from septum primum and limbus fossa ovalis develops from septum secundum. So that's the summary of the development of right atrium. I have told in very brief. You go through the development videos so that you will understand in detail. So in this class we have covered elaborately the details of interior of right atrium, which may be asked as an essay. In the thorax, interior of right atrium is the important essay you have to revise. We will continue with the interior of the next chamber in the next class. So those who have not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe now. Keep watching the videos. Press the like button and share button if you like. Thank you.